Hola muchachos, Stumpy from SubPar but in HD here, bringing you the toppest of tips for your 2v2 gameplay. Episode 2 remarked on offensive and defensive shadowing, so now it is time to uncover the key mistakes you, yes you, could be making. These include lingering up the pitch, being stingy with your boost, and making nonsensical hits. Once you're done cramming your brain with learning words, head on over to universalopen.gg and youtube.com/c/subpar but in HD. You know, as a favour.
Guten Tag, and welcome to the third in our series of 2v2 tips and tricks, sponsored by the Rocket League Universal Open, an objectively awesome 2v2 Rocket League tournament that you should totally be tuning into. Being the cynical bunch of Brits we are, we thought we'd focus this 2v2 tutorial on what not to do. Ain't we a bunch of negative Norrises? This is a look at the 3 common mistakes that silly billies around the Rocket League world are way too prone to making when playing 2v2. Avoid these pitfalls and you'll be one step closer to climbing those apples and pears all the way to the very top, me old governors. In 2s, there's never a lot of time to admire your handiwork. As nice as your pass was, your teammate's gonna need you rotating back sharpish if you want to keep up that offensive pressure. This means after hitting the ball, you must make your next move instantly. This could mean rotating back, or shadowing, or taking boost, or sending your opponent kicking and screaming to his fiery demise, to bestow upon your beholden teammate an open goal. This hesitation is particularly likely after a pass, shot, or when the ball is above your own head and there are opponents nearby. For me, it was the latter. I'd wait patiently underneath the ball and then try an aerial vertically. Problem was, my opponents could attack the ball with more momentum and would usually beat me to it. My slow rotations would also prevent my teammate from pushing forward. Now I rotate back instantly whenever I know that I won't win the ball, and my teams have way more offensive pressure. So to summarise, as soon as you're out the play, make your next move straight away. This is usually by rotating behind your teammate, but it could also be stealing boost, running interference on your opponents, or whatever else. Your rocket car ain't some snowflake Prius, it's a meaty old 4x4 that demands plenty of delicious fossil fuel. Boost starvation is a terrible scourge of the 3's game, as your opponents can rudely outplay you by depriving your team of any boost. Fortunately, boost starving is less of a thing in 2s. While we still recommend stealing boost pills when it doesn't pull you out of position, there's usually enough pads to keep all 4 players pretty much stocked up on boost at all times. This is doubly true as the ground game, as opposed to the air game, is key in 2s, meaning you need less boost to defend. This tip links neatly with the first, as lingering above the ball is just as bad as lingering below it. As soon as you've made your aerial, use any spare boost you have to dive bomb down. Land on a boost pad and you'll be instantly on your merry way as soon as you reach the floor. This means you can use it way more liberally, especially if you remember to drive over boost pads as often as possible. OMG. The ball's in your corner and your teammates nowhere to be seen. This is a totes fetch time to dodge into the ball and give your opponents an open goal. In case you couldn't tell, I was being sarcastic. In 2s especially, each touch you take must have an end goal. If you clear, it's to remove pressure. If you take a touch in defense, it's because you can't generate any power on the ball. If you go up to aerial, it's to do more than mildly alter the flight of the ball while only actually serving to pull yourself out of position. Basically, watch a few of your 2v2 replays back. Any touches that you can't justify in retrospect could have probably been thought through a little bit better at the time. Unless your speed and mechanics are good enough to get away with it, 2s does not reward brainless gameplay, so think every hit through. And there we go. By avoiding these 3 mistakes, you should find yourself a far more effective 2 player. Now get out there, make Queen and country proud, and do some damage in the good old Rocket League Universal Open. SubPar out.